It meant anything goes. Anyone could die, anyone could fall in love, anyone could die, anyone could fall in love, anyone could die, anyone could die.
Asian apocalypse.
Concept was so cool.
Asian apocalypse.
Concept was so cool.
People couldn't believe it. They had to believe it. People couldn't believe it. They had to believe it. Everything that you hit on the known level. Out the window. Everything that you hit on the known level. Out the window. Everything that you hit on the known level. Out the window.
I'm Jeremy Greer.
And I'm Gary Butterfield.
And this is Days of Future Cast, the podcast all about Age of Apocalypse, the alternate timeline where Charles Xavier dies early and it causes all kinds of havoc. We're driving on the left side of the road now, Gary. That's what Xavier did to us. We're on the left side of the road in our cars now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's all military time.
Mm-hmm.
We're calling them lorries.
What is 1427 and why does Night Court come on at 1427 on TBS now? I don't like it.
Everything comes on the fives now on TV. Was this adult?
So awkward.
Yeah, and we're doing our first number 2 with the idea, hopefully now we're done setting up. And we are kind of done setting up. It was the 90s. So every comic had to begin with post-apocalyptic America. It used to be America, but now it's not. Rogue thinks about the teeming millions. It's always going to start with that now because that's comics. It makes it kind of a disjointed experience reading them back to back. If you were waiting 30 days between them, maybe you'd appreciate the recap.
Sure.
But as is, it's like we're moving through the plot, but it's happening slowly. Part of it is just this issue, though, I think, covering Astonishing X-Men number 2, because this is mostly a fight.
Yeah.
To refresh everybody's memory, this is the team led by Rogue that is sent to stop the Callings.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to be going up against Holocaust during this.
Yes.
So we start out with Rogue and a crowd of humans that are all kind of running away, and she's thinking like, I want to say sorry or want to comfort them, but like, how can I? Like, it's my people that are just murdering them in droves, and it doesn't seem like enough. And the camera moves back, and we see all of these like weirdly put together humans running away from what looks like just a zillion like things in the sky, and this is Holocaust men. And Rogue is thinking like, man, it's not enough that you guys kill these people, you also have to terrorize them first. Like, you have to fill them with dread and take away their hope and then murder them. Like, it's just kind of over the top.
Yeah, they send in these probes to kind of calculate the body count. One of these humans, I'm glad you pointed out how weirdly drawn they are. On the left, for all the world, it looks like there's just a disembodied leg.
Yes.
It took me a while to figure out what's going on, but if that leg belongs to the body that the head that's on the far left belongs to, that's a real rough one. Also, shout out to my dude behind that, who even in this version of America managed to have like a real Gary body.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's essentially me. Like, if I just shave down to a mustache, that's Age of Apocalypse Gary right there.
Yeah, you know, people are giving him the side eye, like they can't get fresh veg, and he's got the fucking pot belly. Like, excuse me, where are you getting your food from, sir?
Yep, and they're still going to need podcasting in the Age of Apocalypse, so that's where I'm getting my food from. So.
Welcome to Serial. We're back on Apocalypse again. Did he really do it? I don't know.
We're gonna keep teasing it out. Making of a genocider. So we cut over to Rogue looking over at Sunspot, who is having a real hard time. He flames on, which not advisable. Burns a lot of people, not advisable. Morph is like, hey, tone that down, Mon. We're supposed to be undercover and not frying the people we're trying to help.
Morph is definitely that guy that you go undercover with, and he's like, I've got a whole backstory. It's like, all you need to do is sit there with the camera. Like, you don't have to be a Jamaican doctor that's been on hard times. Like, come on, drop the Mon.
Like, he was like always like as the character backstory for whenever she does that shit.
Exactly.
So he's having a problem. He's going to take the fight to them. Like, he blasts off, He was like, we have to stop Holocaust now. This is not the plan. However, and Rogue is like, I should have seen this coming. Like, Blink, continue the evacuation. I'll take care of this.
Yeah.
He goes up and starts destroying probes.
Mm-hmm. And Rogue flies up after him and is like, "Hey, you're not doing anything productive right now. And if I have to stop you, I will. And I've got to get you to power down." And then she does. She touches him and absorbs his power and his memories, which does like kind of defuse the situation a little bit. And they are able to get the humans moving again. And unfortunately, like as they're talking like this, somebody is realizing, like, Sunfire has never been what they call the most filled enchilada on the lunch tray, which can you imagine?
This guy's one filling short of a filled enchilada. Rogue touching him gets his memories, and we see basically like the super scary apocalypse rising from a river of blood to try to kidnap Sunfire. And we'd previously seen that he basically killed everyone in Japan. Mm-hmm. Apocalypse and his son. We also see that Sabretooth is holding him.
Yes,
they're working. They used to be on the. Or no, it's Nemesis, who looks like Sabretooth in this flashback. Because Sabretooth and Nemesis did used to work together. Nemesis was Apocalypse or Holocaust old name.
I definitely thought that was Sabretooth when I read this.
yeah, it's confusing. But he's like, yeah, I can feel my arms being pinned by Nemesis. But Apocalypse doing this, like raising up from a river of blood, like just walking from it, is real fucking spooky. And he takes Sunfire and dunks his head in the blood and holds him under it like a baptism.
Fucking gross, man.
Yeah, I remember my lungs filling with crimson liquid. Like, it's really fucked up.
I also kind of dig that they have Sunfire in his like original outfit during this. Like, this is the thing that makes him get the weird outfit, which is like understandable. Like, the dude went fucking crazy. And like Rogue is experiencing all of this and realizes like, oh, hey, I should have been here for you. Like, I didn't know. Like, the thing I need to tell you is that it's not your fault. Like, this was all Apocalypse. And but he's taken all of this on his own because he wasn't able to stop it. This is his failure and his shame. And like, what a conversation to be happening on the middle of a battlefield. Like, can basic therapy bloom on the battlefield, Gary? Well, let's find out.
CBT. I love CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, as a acronym, because I can't not read as cock and ball torture. Like every single time I see something with CBT, I'm like, wait, you're gonna use CBT? Oh. So they're doing this, and this is pretty in line with Sunfire. Mm-hmm. Was not like, even with his first appearances and stuff. Like, this is some good characterization, or at least like steady characterization. We cut over to Westchester, where Magneto is hanging out with his son, saying his last goodbyes, and Bishop comes in to accuse him of basically sitting on his ass. Like, you're sending all your X-Men to die. However, you're just sitting here. He's like, no, I'm not just sitting here. I'm saying goodbye to my son because I might lose everything, including him. Like, if Xavier never existed, I would never have a kid named Xavier, and would never Mpreg Rogue. Impreg.
Impregnate, not impreg. That's a totally different thing.
I would never F-Preg Rogue.
It's not. You don't have to call it F-Preg. It's just normal Preg.
Yeah. No, it's important. F-Preg. So this is the code name for Portal before they shut it down. So anyway, they basically go through and Magneto dismisses them, like, hey, in the morning I might not have this kid, so let me have a good night to say goodbye.
Yes.
Get out of here, you jerk.
We go back over to Manhattan, where a very cartoonish Apocalypse is being told that he's basically losing some battles. Like, the Abyss should have stopped the X-Men's momentum in Maine, but they weren't able to. But they're evacuated by thousands of humans, and he's getting aggravated with Magneto's resistance when he wants to know if they've ever found their base, and Rex has. So Rex is showing him that there's the mansion in Westchester, and Apocalypse. Dude, this is such a goofy Apocalypse, man. I can't handle it. Like, this. I see the long dead name by the name of stars of Xavier. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous.
He's real, like, yeah.
It's very wrestling, isn't it? That's what this is the wrestling emote from Dark Souls 2.
Oh, even the lights in the background, it looks like flash photography.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's so weird.
Yeah, the page before this, he yells at Rex, and Rex floats off the air like a cartoon. And stuff. It's real Joe Madureira really having fun here. Yeah.
And Apocalypse basically just says like, "Hey, prepare my entourage. Like we're, go get Turtle, go get E. We're gonna go to the club."
And by the club we mean Xavier's house and blow it up.
Yes.
So that's gonna be that's gonna happen. We cut over to Chicago, where they've been doing this evacuation here, and we have Sabretooth with his wild child scarf that he's wearing. Coming through and talking. He's like, "Oh, it looks like kind of peaceful and tragic." Blink shows up and says, "Hey, Mr. Creed, we're still evacuating it." He's like, "Here, like that's funny. The reason why I asked you," and she knows what he's going to ask. Like, teleport me directly to Holocaust so I can have a knockdown, drag out, and get revenge. It's suicide, and he's like, "It's not suicide. I'm buying Rogue some time. Like it's to a purpose."
And Blink has this kind of like really emotional raw response where she starts talking about how she prays, and when she prays she says thank you for putting Victor Creed on this world because he is the one that rescued her to begin with, and like she starts crying while she's doing this. Like this is like obviously not really anything we've seen from Sabretooth before, but like she's basically telling him like this is all pretty stupid, but I can't help what I feel. And he says that's not stupid. Stupid is not fighting. It's getting given up, and you're still fighting. And so like he's like.
Very clearly Wolverine Kitty Pryde.
Yes, absolutely.
Without Xavier, Wolverine, somebody had to take that role of like the mentor guy with the young lady. So, and
then Rogue falls in with like her hand up and a no way, and I'm like, did she think that like Sabretooth was about to put the moves on her or something? Like this is very much like get your hands away from my girl at the club kind of thing.
It's a chaperone moment.
It's a chaperone. It's big chaperone energy right now is what this is.
Yeah. Basically saying like, hey, you cannot throw your lives away on my watch, and she's gonna like, I'll chain you to the front stoop of the mansion if you do this. Sabretooth's like, no, this is important. We'll fight. And Blink zaps her and kind of knocks her out. Like he can displace her for a fraction of a second and knock her out, which is interesting. And then teleports Sabretooth away.
Yes.
So.
And Sabretooth shows up in Indiana and pretty quickly like electrifies Wildchild. So Wildchild is awake and gurring at everybody, and then goes to find Holocaust. And this is going to be pretty much our battle and our quips for the rest of this issue.
Yeah, finds Holocaust right away. Like Holocaust finds him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, you're getting old. Like they're basically doing it's really interesting. It's like if you put Wolverine in the Sabretooth role and Holocaust in the traditional Sabretooth thing. So it's like kind of like Wolverine versus Sabretooth, but Sabretooth versus Holocaust. I know I made that sentence as confusing as possible.
Oh, I mean, it's Age of Apocalypse, Gary. We're in it. We're going.
You're getting old man. Wasn't it just yesterday? And that's like, this is the kind of thing Sabretooth would say to Wolverine.
If you put Wolverine in this role, who would he be leading around on a chain and wearing like a scarf? Like who is Wolverine's little buddy that he would do this with?
Jubilee.
Ooh. Ouch. Now you want to talk about CBT. Ouch.
With firecrackers, though. Celebration. Ball torture. So they're old comrades.
Yes.
Which we may cover those issues. Those are in X-Men Chronicles, where they show this kind of stuff. They're really badly written. They have interesting lore, but like they're horribly written.
Yeah.
There's 2 issues that kind of show the old, 70s X-Men, what they were doing in this universe. But they used to be friends back when Holocaust was named Nemesis. And before he got hurt and had to be poured into this gigantic like Sunny D bottle.
Yeah. And he just like straight up tells Sabretooth and Wildchild like, oh yeah, we killed all those humans. We dropped them off at a processing plant, which is just 20 miles north of here, which is information that they did not know. So Sabretooth very quickly sends Wildchild away and with the intention of like, you need to go save all those people to shut down that plant. I'll take care of Holocaust. Yeah.
I really hate how Holocaust literally says, since you're going to die anyway, I can tell you that's 20 miles due north of here. That's extremely sloppy.
Extremely video gamey, my man. What are you doing?
Yeah, horrible. I don't know if Wildchild is going to go save them or go get the X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that meant the same thing, basically.
And the reason why Holocaust didn't think this was a problem because he thought Wildchild was an idiot. Like, is this some kind of trick? Does Wildchild possess some level of intelligence? And they get into a fight. It's really hard to tell exactly what Holocaust does. during this. He's got like one hand that looks like a beehive that shoots beams.
Yes.
But like it's pretty difficult to tell exactly what is happening in this fight.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bracks and scracks though, so I'm here for it.
Yeah. Fam, brumble. What we're getting is that Holocaust tricked him, did a thing where he missed on purpose to shoot a building so it'll collapse on Sabretooth, which is a real, Scott Lobdell, like, ooh, a distraction.
Yep.
That's his thing. And, they're talking, is like, hey, I it made sense for me to be Nemesis originally because I was an adversary, but now I'm a Holocaust. And Sabretooth picks up this gigantic rock and smashes Holocaust's head with it.
Extremely dope.
Yep. They're both not doing great. Sabretooth is bleeding from the eyes.
That's always a sign of bad things, my dude. And Holocaust kind of is just like, you should stop this. You're obviously losing. And Sabretooth lets go. So this is his like inner wild side coming out because he was always holding back while he was on the X-Men. And he said, if he's going to go, he's going to take Holocaust with you. And he jumps over and rips Holocaust helmet off of him. And it makes a big splooshy kind of look. And Sabretooth collapses afterwards. But unfortunately, it does not kill Holocaust.
Yeah. His head is just now exposed. It's like this field of energy. Yeah. So he ripped off his armor and part of his head. Mm-hmm. And we get a lot of great onomatopoeia here. Whisps, swip, quips.
Yeah.
Burble.
Burble.
It was literally BRB, dude. Like BRB turning into Holocaust BRB. There's BRBL as well, which like be right back later. Like all this stuff makes sense. He's doing all kinds of teen text.
Yeah. Are your teens in the middle of the age of apocalypse? BRB.
BRBL. Yeah. So and that's the issue. This episode went by a little quicker because we're basically just had fights.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Some of these issues are pretty slight on the actual plot and like details of anything. Like it's still like we're still warming up a little bit. Like we're still revving the engine and ready to take off. This feels like very like I like the little bit of stuff we got with Blink and Sabretooth and like that exchange, like showing just like a little bit of the emotional stakes that are here with these people and the relationships that exist now versus the ones that existed in the normal timeline. So
Yep. So thank you for listening. We're going to be getting into more number twos. We're going to see these plots advance a little bit further. What's interesting, the crossover is like the X-Men plots are really kind of holding pattern things since they're explicitly like banking on the gambits not working. Like the bets, like it's like, oh, we still need to save the humans if the Macran crystal turns out to be a bust. So the comics that are kind of going out of their way off of the main conflict are less fighty and a little bit more plotty. These ones though are just like, I think the kind of the point of these X-Men comics is to show you at least a little bit like what X-Men comics would be like in this world.
Yeah.
Like this week we're fighting Holocaust. This week we're fighting Abyss, etc.
Because they have to sell issues, Gary. It's the 90s. Like I've got to buy all 10 issues a month or else and I got to buy multiple copies for different covers too. So I got to be on top of all of this stuff.
Keep them shit sealed.
Oh man, you don't want to read a comic book.
No. If you like the show, what can they do, Jeremy?
Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv is the place to go. A couple of bucks a month will get you some cool benefits as well as the knowledge that you're supporting a bunch of cool people making cool content. You can get access to our Slack where you can talk about comic books on along with us. You can get episodes of this podcast and many other ones early. You can get a bunch of exclusive content, all kinds of cool stuff. You can also tell your friends about the show. That really, really, really helps out. I can't express that enough. As well as leaving reviews in places. Let people know what you think about the show.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. We really do appreciate that.
And
we'll see you. See you next time.
See you next time, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.